Hi, I'm Lenny Phelps with Hidden Hollow Beads, and today I'm going to show you how to make jewelry like this using crimps, clasps, and rings and wire. It's going to be great. It's versatile and strong, and once you learn, easy to use, I promise. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with a piece of wire. We're using the Bead-A-Lawn 7-strand wire. There's a million different kinds of wires out there. We've just chosen to use this one. You cut yourself a length of wire. I'm going to make a bracelet with this, and so I have chosen to make it the length of my wrist plus some, because you don't want to run out of wire. You choose a crimp bead. We are using 2 by 1 millimeter silver-plated crimp beads. Make sure you can see this. You have a little bit of wire here above your fingers, and you slide, I'm just going to choose a different, slide this crimp bead onto it. You then take a clasp, and always check your clasp to make sure that they're working. You don't want to get done with a piece of jewelry and find out your clasps aren't working. It's never any fun. Slide it right on top of that crimp bead. So with your fingers, you're holding that crimp bead and that clasp in place, then using your thumb or finger of the other hand, bend it over. See how that crimp bead? I've still got that crimp bead with these fingers, and you're bending the wire over, and then you slide that crimp bead right up over that wire, okay? So here you have your clasp. Your little hole here, you want to make it big enough that it can move freely, but you don't want a big loop. That doesn't look good at the first of a piece of jewelry. So you want to just have a nice little loop there where the clasp can move freely, and you've got the crimp bead sitting there. There's all different kinds of tools to use when you're crimping. A lot of people like to use crimpers. I like these little tools. You can use anything you want. You just get in there and smash that crimp bead flat. One thing to remember, this is the point of strength on your jewelry. If this crimp bead slips or falls off, your entire piece is lost. So you just want to get in there and just smash that thing flat. Just smash it flat. And there you go. You have the start of your bracelet. See that crimp bead just holds that wire firmly in place. And this little tail, don't worry about it. It'll be covered up by your first bead. Over here, we have a piece of jewelry that we've started the exact same way, and then I have chosen my design. You just string them on one by one. Doesn't matter what design you do, just whatever you feel like that day. I felt a little pink the day I made this. And then you, here at the end, you're ready to end your design. Again, choose a crimp bead, slide it, and let it fall all the way down on top of the beads. Then you're choosing a ring. Right here, we are using a silver-plated 6 millimeter split ring. That's what I chose to use today. Drop it on here, but don't let it fall all the way down. I use my finger to hold it up off the beads just a little bit. Then you take this tail of wire, holding your beads in place. You don't want big gaps between your beads. You want to hold it in place and slide the tail of your wire through the crimp bead and through at least one of the beads of your bracelet. The more beads, the stronger your bracelet is going to be. So we're going to go for 2 here. You're going to slide it right through there. You see how it's coming out there, 2 beads below? While holding everything in place with your fingers, which can be a little tricky. Practice makes perfect. Slide that wire till you got yourself a nice little loop. Ah, but look what I've done. I've got myself a little space here. So just tug everything down, holding it in place again. Pull that wire again. There you go. Now there's no gaps, and you've got a nice little loop here. Not very big, but big enough that this ring can move freely. Okay? So now I take it and I just get in there, and this is what I do. I just put my tool in there to make sure that you got enough of a loop, because you don't want it to be too tight. Then you get in there with that tool, you smash it flat. Remember, that crimp bead has got to be smashed flat. Right, like that, see? Now, here you can use little wire cutters, little jewelry wire cutters, or what I prefer to use is basic fingernail clippers. They work great. They get up right up there next to that bead. See, and they just cut that wire right off. So I just get up there next to that bead, snip off that piece of wire, make sure that the tail of the wire disappears into the next bead. There you go, ready to wear. Beautiful. All right. Thank you for watching. Visit us at hhbeads.com for more tips, how-to videos, and a great selection of beads.